The morning light spills gently through the curtains. A quiet hum of birds drifts in from the garden outside. Evelyn sits by the window, her hands wrapped around a warm cup of tea. The steam curls upward, soft as a memory. Her shoulders feel heavy, a reminder of years spent carrying more than she should. Caring for others, worrying about time, forgetting to care for herself. She takes a deep breath, slow and deliberate. The air fills her chest, then escapes with a sigh that sounds almost like relief. Outside, the leaves shimmer in gold light, moving to a rhythm only the morning knows. For a moment, Evelyn lets her mind rest there, in the quiet, in the peace. She realizes her body has stories too. Every ache, every stretch, a whisper from years gone by. But today feels different. Today, she wants to listen. No rushing, no pushing. Just moving gently, as if her body were made of sunlight and wind. She sets down her cup, closes her eyes, and begins to roll her shoulders. Slowly, kindly. The first movement of her morning, and perhaps a new beginning. A beginning not of effort but of ease. The sun rises higher, painting soft gold across Evelyn's room. She feels its warmth settle on her face, quiet and kind. For a long time, she has ignored this stillness. Mornings used to rush past her, lost in noise and motion. But today, she wants to notice. She wants to feel her body as it is, not as it once was. She breathes in, deep and slow, the air brushing gently against her throat. Her shoulders rise slightly, almost shy beneath the breath. Then as she exhales, they sink, heavy with release. A soft ache hums beneath her skin, familiar but not painful. She wonders how long her shoulders have carried her worries. Decades, perhaps. They have held the weight of work, the pull of care, the quiet sorrow of age. But now, she decides to listen to them instead of fighting. She rolls them gently forward, slow circles in the air. The sound of her movement is almost like a whisper. Her breath follows the rhythm, inhale up, exhale down. Each circle feels like a wave, washing away old tension. The air shifts around her, tender and light. Her body begins to speak in its own language. It says, "Thank you for remembering me." Her mind quiets. The world outside seems far away, like a soft echo. Birdsong filters through the open window, blending with her breathing. She feels the connection between sound, breath, and body. For years she believed strength meant doing more, moving faster. But this gentle rhythm feels stronger than any effort. Each motion teaches patience. Each breath invites calm. She closes her eyes and imagines her shoulders as leaves floating on water. They drift without force, carried only by the current of her breath. She lets them go. A faint smile curves her lips. In that moment, she realizes how often she's asked her body to endure. To keep lifting, reaching, holding, giving. Always giving. Now it's time to give back. Her movements slow even more. The circles grow smaller, softer, almost still. She stays there between motion and stillness. Her breath deepens again, filling the quiet with warmth. The light shifts on her skin, and she feels alive in a simple, sacred way. It's not about stretching farther or doing better. It's about being here fully, without demand. She opens her eyes, gazing at the space before her. Her shoulders feel lighter, freer, almost floating. The world hasn't changed, but her body has. It feels like an old friend finally heard. Evelyn whispers softly to herself, "Slow is enough." The room answers in silence, peaceful and whole. She inhales once more, the morning air sweet and calm. With every breath, she rediscovers her rhythm. A rhythm that belongs to no one but her. The day waits quietly outside and she is ready, steady, open and kind. It is only the beginning, but already, her shoulders remember how to rest. Evelyn stands a little taller now, her feet grounded against the wooden floor. The morning feels softer, as if the light itself is breathing with her. She inhales deeply, then lets the air fall away in a quiet sigh. Her shoulders lift and release, like gentle tides meeting the shore. There's no rush, no tension, only rhythm. She begins to move again, small circles, slow and tender. Each rotation feels like a message of forgiveness sent through her bones. She imagines the air brushing against her skin, loosening the stiffness beneath. For years she has carried invisible weight, and now it begins to dissolve. Her body remembers what it's like to move without fear. Her joints whisper gratitude, creaking softly in return. The sound is not age, it is life speaking in gentle echoes. She rolls her shoulders backward, slow and smooth. The motion opens her chest, creating space for breath to wander freely. Her head tilts slightly, and a sigh escapes her lips again. It feels like exhaling years of worry. The air in the room feels lighter now, touched by something sacred. She pauses between movements, letting stillness guide her. There is beauty in the pause, the moment between effort and rest. Evelyn realizes she has spent most of her life skipping these pauses, always rushing to the next thing, the next thought, the next task. But now, each pause feels like a door to peace. She opens it with her breath and steps through with ease. Her hands rise slightly, floating beside her as she rolls her shoulders forward. The motion is smaller this time, more mindful, more precise. She feels every muscle shifting, every fiber waking up. Her breath deepens, flowing steady like a calm river. The rhythm of her shoulders and breath begins to merge. She is not just moving, she is meditating in motion. The warmth spreads from her neck down to her upper arms. It's not strain, it's release. It's her body letting go of the stories it no longer needs. She smiles softly, eyes half closed, savoring the quiet surrender. Each roll feels smoother than the last, softer than before. Her breath leads the way, guiding her toward comfort. For a moment she forgets the years, the limits, the stiffness. There is only movement and peace. She feels her heartbeat steady, a calm drum beneath her ribs. The world outside continues, cars passing, birds singing, but inside there's only stillness. Time doesn't matter here. Only breath, only motion, only softness. She finishes the last circle and lets her arms hang loosely by her sides. Her shoulders drop, free and open. The warmth of movement lingers like a gentle flame. She takes one last deep breath, holding it for a moment, then releases it, slow and long, as if letting go of something heavy. A quiet thought crosses her mind. This is what ease feels like. And in that moment, Evelyn feels not older but timeless. Her shoulders hum quietly beneath her skin, light and alive. The morning glows brighter and she stands there, soft, steady, free. Evelyn takes another slow breath, feeling her body grow warmer with each movement. The air around her hums softly, carrying the scent of morning tea and sunlight. She lets her arms rest for a moment, her palms open, her heart calm. Then, with care, she begins to lift her right arm upward. Not fast, not forced, just slow, like a leaf rising on a breeze. Her fingers stretch gently toward the ceiling, tracing invisible light in the air. She feels the pull along her shoulder, tender yet steady. The stretch wakes something deep inside her muscles. A quiet energy, a soft remembrance of strength. She inhales as her arm reaches higher, then exhales as she lets it fall halfway down. The breath and motion merge into one quiet flow. Her shoulder feels alive again, no longer stiff but breathing with her. She switches to the other arm, mirroring the same gentle rise. The same warmth spreads along her side, soothing the spaces that once felt forgotten. Her hands tremble slightly, not from weakness but from release. Each movement seems to carry a piece of old tension away. She closes her eyes and lets the rhythm guide her. Up with the inhale, down with the exhale. Slow, deliberate, tender. The room feels wider now, as if her movement expands the air itself. She imagines each stretch painting soft colors across the walls. Every lift of her arm adds another shade of calm. There is no strain, no expectation, only flow. Her shoulders begin to find their natural rhythm, the one they once had before time made them careful. She remembers dancing once, long ago. Not for anyone else, just for herself. This feels the same, only quieter, wiser. She lowers both arms slowly, letting them drift beside her body. Her breath steadies, her heart beats evenly, her eyes remain soft. The warmth she feels now is not just physical. It's an emotional warmth, like forgiveness spreading from within. She realizes she's been harsh on her body, asking it to do more, to move faster. But this gentle lift is enough. More than enough. She begins again, slower this time. Raising both arms together, fingertips meeting the air above her head. Her breath deepens as if she's drawing sunlight into her lungs. Then she exhales, letting her arms fall like falling leaves, graceful and free. The sound of her breath fills the room, steady and peaceful. Each repetition feels like a promise to herself. A promise to move with kindness, to trust her body again, to be patient with its rhythm. Her arms come to rest once more by her sides, her shoulders loose and light. The soft ache she feels now is sweet, almost like music beneath her skin. She whispers to herself, "Thank you for holding me all these years." The light catches her face, her eyes closed, her lips curved in peace. In this still moment, Evelyn feels renewed, quietly strong, gently whole. Evelyn lowers her hands and lets the air settle around her. The soft warmth from her slow stretches lingers, wrapping her in calm. She takes a small step back and inhales deeply, steady and full. This time, she crosses her arms gently across her chest. Her right hand rests on her left shoulder, her left hand on her right. It feels almost like a hug, simple and tender. For a moment, she pauses and lets her head tilt slightly forward. Her chin touches the space above her chest, and she breathes out slowly. The feeling is new but familiar, like coming home after a long journey. She can feel her heartbeat under her palms, soft and steady. It reminds her that she's still here, still breathing, still whole. The weight of her arms feels comforting, not heavy. It's the kind of embrace that asks for nothing. The kind that simply says, "You're enough." She closes her eyes and listens to the quiet rhythm within her chest. Each beat echoes softly through her shoulders, spreading warmth outward. Her muscles begin to relax deeper than before. The tension that once hid beneath her skin starts to fade. She sways slightly, side to side, still holding herself. The movement feels almost like dancing with her own spirit. A quiet laugh escapes her lips, low and real. She can't remember the last time she held herself this way. So often she has wrapped her arms around others, offering comfort, care, and love. But she rarely stopped to offer the same to herself. Now in this still room she does. She whispers softly, "It's all right to rest now." Her shoulders sink, melting into the warmth of her hands. The hug deepens, not in strength but in meaning. It feels like forgiveness, gentle and wordless. She breathes again, slower this time, drawing peace into her chest. The air feels sweeter somehow, lighter. Her mind quiets until only the sound of breath remains. In that silence, memories drift through her, moments of care, loss, and quiet joy. She doesn't resist them. She lets them pass, one by one, like clouds crossing the sun. Each breath, each memory, softens her even more. She feels her shoulders open, her heart loosen. Her arms loosen too, sliding down slowly to her sides. The warmth of the embrace lingers on her skin. It stays even as her hands fall away. She feels taller, lighter, steadier. There's no ache now, only ease. Her breath flows freely, unbroken, like calm water. She lifts her chin, eyes still closed, and smiles faintly. The air moves softly through the window, touching her cheek. It feels like the world itself is returning her embrace. In that moment, Evelyn understands. The body listens when kindness speaks. And today, her shoulders have finally heard. She opens her eyes, the light gentle, the morning still bright. Her arms rest easily, but her heart continues to hold her. Evelyn stays still for a moment, feeling the warmth of her own embrace fade into peace. The silence around her feels full, not empty. Then, gently, she lets her arms begin to move again. This time not as stretches, but as soft flowing motions. Her hands drift outward, gliding through the air like slow-moving clouds. Her wrists twist slightly, fingers tracing invisible lines of calm. Each movement feels natural, unforced, as if her body remembers a forgotten rhythm. She lets the motion grow, arms sweeping gracefully from side to side. Her shoulders follow, rolling with a quiet fluidity. The air moves with her, cool against her skin. She breathes deeply, matching the motion of her arms to the rhythm of her breath. Inhale as her hands rise. Exhale as they fall. It becomes a dance without rules, without form, only feeling. She imagines her movements stirring the air into soft waves. Each wave carries away something she no longer needs. Tension, doubt, the ache of old expectations. Her body sways gently, steady and slow. There is freedom in this simple motion. Freedom without effort. She feels the stretch ripple through her arms and shoulders, a tide of calm energy. Her spine follows, bending slightly with each breath. The music of her movement fills the quiet room. It's not sound but sensation, a rhythm felt more than heard. Her breath grows deeper, smoother, steadier. The warmth that began in her shoulders now spreads through her chest. It feels like the sun has entered her from within. She smiles again, this time wider, fuller. The movement begins to flow without thought. Her body leads, her mind follows. There is no past here, no worry about tomorrow. Only motion, breath, and presence. She feels the floor beneath her feet, strong and grounding. Each shift of weight connects her more deeply to the earth. Her arms slow down, tracing smaller arcs in the air, like waves settling after a gentle storm. Her fingers tremble slightly as the energy settles back into stillness. She lets her hands hover near her heart, palms open. Her breathing slows, long and even. It feels as if her entire being exhales. The light in the room softens, and time seems to pause with her. Evelyn's shoulders rest low, easy and free. The stiffness that once held her captive has melted into movement. She whispers quietly, "This is freedom, gentle and true." Her voice sounds different now, lighter, calmer, certain. She lifts her arms one last time, slow and graceful, then lets them fall, as if releasing the last bit of weight she carried. Silence follows, but it's not empty. It's full of peace. Her breath flows quietly, steady as the sea. The world outside continues, but she remains in her still rhythm. Her shoulders no longer ache. They simply move, breathe, and rest. And in that stillness, Evelyn feels alive. Not younger, not older, just whole. Evelyn lets the last trace of movement fade into stillness. Her arms fall gently by her sides, her palms open toward the floor. The air around her feels softer now, touched by quiet energy. She stands still, her breath the only sound in the room. Inhale. Exhale. The rhythm flows steady, peaceful, like waves brushing against sand. Her shoulders rest, no longer tense, no longer carrying invisible weight. For the first time in a long while, she feels light. She closes her eyes and lets silence cradle her. The world outside continues, but here, time seems to stop. Her mind feels clear, her body calm, her heart steady. She notices the way her chest rises with each breath, how her ribs expand like wings unfolding in the sun. Every inhale brings warmth, every exhale carries away what's left of strain. She doesn't think about movement anymore. She simply breathes. Stillness becomes its own kind of motion, a motion that happens within, unseen but deeply felt. She feels her pulse beneath her fingertips, slow and sure. It beats in rhythm with her breath, gentle and strong. The light through the window glows softer now, golden and warm. It brushes across her shoulders like a quiet blessing. Evelyn smiles faintly, eyes still closed. She whispers to herself, "This is what peace feels like." The words hang in the air, light as dust in sunlight. For a moment, she remembers the years of pushing, hurrying, holding too much. The long days that blurred together without pause or rest. Now all of that feels far away, like a story she once told. Her shoulders, once tired and burdened, now hum with quiet ease. They rise and fall with breath, moving freely, peacefully. She lets her body sway slightly, as if carried by invisible music. The motion is small but full of grace. Every part of her feels connected, breath, bone, and heart. She stays there, suspended in stillness, as sunlight warms her skin. Nothing to prove, nothing to chase. Only breath, only being. The calm deepens until it feels like she's floating in it. Like her whole body has become part of the morning itself. Her eyes open slowly, adjusting to the soft light. The garden outside shimmers in shades of green and gold. A gentle breeze moves the leaves, quiet and slow. She feels it in her chest, as if nature breathes with her. A deep, quiet gratitude fills her. Not just for her body, but for the chance to feel it again. To listen, to move, to rest. She places one hand over her heart, the other on her shoulder. The touch is light, almost like a promise. She whispers once more, "Thank you." The room stays silent, but the peace remains. Her breath moves through her like sunlight through water. Soft, endless, alive. And in that stillness, Evelyn finally knows. Her shoulders have learned to rest, and her spirit has learned to breathe. Evelyn stands by the window once more, her shoulders soft, her breath slow and steady. The sunlight has shifted, warmer now, wrapping her in gold. Outside, the garden moves gently, leaves dancing with the morning breeze. She watches them sway, unhurried, peaceful, alive. Her body feels the same, open, calm, at ease. Every breath reminds her of how far she's come, how gently she's arrived here. She touches her shoulder lightly, feeling warmth beneath her skin. It's no longer heavy, no longer burdened by yesterday. It simply rests free and kind. The silence around her feels sacred, as if the world itself has slowed to listen. She smiles softly, eyes half closed, breathing in one last time. The air fills her chest, light and clean. Then she exhales, long and tender, letting it all drift away. In that breath she feels gratitude, simple, quiet, full. Gratitude for her body, for stillness, for the chance to begin again. The day waits patiently beyond the window. Evelyn steps forward, shoulders relaxed, heart steady. She whispers to herself, "Slow is enough." And as the morning unfolds, she carries peace with her, gentle, steady, whole.